Hey everybody, hi. So I am back by myself, so I'm using my stand that Danielle said, hey mom, why don't you start making your own videos if you don't always have to wait for Tim. Well, I know everybody loves Tim, so that's part of why I want him to always be on these videos. And but he's outside doing some work for me outside that we needed done, and so I wanted to make this banana bread, and so here we go. We're going to try to do this together. So I'm going to send it down here so you can watch the area I'm working in. And here we go. So first of all, I start with 3 ripe bananas. Remember what they looked like earlier when they're all hard and they still look like they were bananas from the freezer. These are from the freezer. And they still had their consistency. This is what they look like when they're unthawed. Do not be afraid of this at all. This is okay. This is exactly what they're supposed to look like after they've been frozen. 3 bananas is exactly what we need for this recipe. Normally I would be smashing them down with a fork in a bowl, in a plate when I was doing them from regular banana stage that hasn't been frozen. But right now there's just, as you can see, not much left to them. I'm just going to quickly just rake them around a little bit just to get those other pieces off, and see, it's just going to end up being pretty much liquefied now, and that's okay. That's what you want, guys. Don't be nervous about that. That's what it looks like. Once that's done, then we add 2 eggs that are slightly beaten, so 1 egg at a time. Slightly beat it up a little bit. This recipe is so quick. You can throw this together just before you do any meal. It's so quick, so wonderful. Great flavor. There's your 2nd egg. Beat it up just a smidge. As you can see what I'm doing, just speeding it up a little bit. And there you go. And add that in there. Kind of like to let it swirl it around together all by itself there. And then the rest of the ingredients are going to head in. Very quick. I mean, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients. 7. The 7th ingredient is my secret. The 7th ingredient is my secret part of the recipe, which I'll share with you afterwards. And then you can be very versatile and add like nuts or anything afterwards, but we'll talk about that in a second. So here you go. All that goes in here is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. There you go. 3/4 of a cup of regular granulated sugar. A teaspoon of salt, which you know me, I don't do the whole salt. I just do some of it. So yeah, I didn't do a whole teaspoon there, but that's my thing. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And you have just found out all the ingredients to the best tasting banana bread ever. Now, however, I still have 1 secret ingredient that I like to put in, which sets my banana bread apart from anybody else's, and that I love to melt a 1/2 stick of butter. Right, butter. It's Paula. So 1/2 stick of butter because it's already flavored. And some people, I mean, it's cool because you don't have to butter your piece of bread. So if you're taking this to work or wherever as a snack, you don't have butter around you, you don't have to. It has the butter in it. So I'm going to be stirring it up here, as you can see. Just kind of it just takes just a second to stir it all up. There's really not a lot to this, but it's fantastic. Fantastic. Now I tend to make mine plain because half the time I'm making this to give to somebody or to take somewhere, and I never know who's allergic to what. So I don't personally put nuts in them, but you're cooking for your own family at your house, go for it. You can put walnuts, you can put almonds, you can put pecans, you can put any nut into this at all. You can put raisins. Raisins are fantastic in here. And you know what else is fantastic in here? Yeah, chocolate chips. Fantastic. I know at first you're going to say chocolate chips and banana bread? Ew, no thanks. But oh my God, is it so good. And see, it's just literally a couple of minutes. We don't use a blender, we don't use anything. A couple of minutes here of just, or a minute here of just giving it your own elbow grease of stirring. See? And look how fantastic it is. And that's it. We're all done. I'm not going to add nuts to mine because again, I don't know yet. Tim and I can't eat a whole loaf ourselves, so it's going to go somewhere. I just don't know where yet. So I'm not putting any nuts in it because I never know the allergies of them. But if I knew my audience and who I was baking this for, like my family, if I was going to my mom's or something, I know we could put anything in there because I don't have any allergies like that. And there you are. It's that simple. So now, again, as I did before the other day, I'm using this Baker's Joy. But until I discovered this Baker's Joy, because Marie told me about it, I used to always just put butter in the pan. And now I just spray this up so it doesn't stick on any ends. And oops, any sides, any ends, any corners, anything. And so done, we're done. And then we just throw this in here. This is so fun. And again, you're never wasting a banana. Go ahead and buy however many bananas you think your family's going to eat. Go ahead. There's an old saying that says there's never anything more hopeful than a mother who puts things at the bottom of the stairs hoping her family will take them when they go up to their rooms or to wherever. And of course it never seems to happen. They always end up staying on the stairs and the mother takes them. But anyways, there was a reason why I was going to tell you that joke. Can't remember. Now I can't remember why I was going to say that joke. Ba-ba. Too bad. Okay. Oh, go ahead and buy as many bananas as you want. Yes, because, you start eating them. I know, I always say, okay, I'm going to buy a big bush. It's only like 37 cents a pound or whatever it is. Sometimes it's very much on sale. Then I'll buy a good bunch, or I'll say the daycare kids, they're definitely going to eat them. So I'm going to buy a good bunch. And then all of a sudden they change their mind and it's apples they want that week instead of bananas. Don't worry. And every recipe takes about 3 bananas. So 3 medium-sized bananas. So I put them in the freezer in bags saying 3 or 2 or 1, because sometimes you just have 1 or 2 left over. So when I'm freezing them, I write on the bag how many bananas I started with, because sometimes I take a combination of whatever. I mean, like the cookies would have taken 4 bananas, 3 for the cookie recipe, and then 1 banana for the frosting. I can't wait for you to cook those with you, by the way. It's very exciting. So I label them 3 bananas, 2 bananas, 1 banana, and I just make a bag out of whatever I have left over. And so I buy whatever I want when I'm in the store, and if they start to go black or do go black or brown, you haven't wasted anything. Get them in the freezer, and they freeze for a long time. So, and as you can see, it comes out looking funny. That's it. All I'm going to do is put this in the oven. I'm going to bake it on 350 for 1 hour. You know the secret, and that is before you take anything out of the oven, you always take a toothpick, stick it down the middle. If it comes out clean, you're all set. If it comes out wet or with anything still on it, push it back in there. If it's really wet, put it for 10 minutes. If it's just slightly wet, give it 5 more. I mean, you get good at knowing when it can come out after a while. When you've made a recipe, you get really good at that. So there. Easy. I mean, what did it take us? 5 minutes, maybe? So enjoy. I don't know. Oh, I know. I wanted to, a few of the things I'd like to come up with for this week is I wanted to do poutine. I thought it would be fun to make our own little Vermont version of poutine with some sort of meat on the side. I don't know what yet. I haven't pulled my meat out of the freezer for the week coming up, but I thought poutine would be fun, and it's really simple to make poutine out of just about any type of potato. You can make your own gravy if you've got it. There's also some really good canned gravies that are extremely inexpensive and can be used just for poutine. So, and I would like to get the no-bakes done. Hold on, where did my list? Yeah, some of the other things, I obviously would like those banana cookies. I really want to get into a quiche this week since we've got ham. I'd like to do a ham and broccoli, mushroom, onion kind of quiche. If you're up for that, let me know. There's some really cool energy balls that I'd like to make with you. That's the only recipe that probably might not have a couple things on the recipe that might not be in your cupboard. I'll let you know before that happens, because you'll have to go get those items, or you'll have to sub. The thing about the energy balls is you can sub a lot of really cool things in them. And there's only a couple of ingredients, on 2 of those ingredients being like maple syrup and honey, and really good for you. Maybe I'd like to make a few smoothies and show you how again, another way, if you're worrying about your fruit going bad, smoothies is a great way to recapture those. I have some strawberries that have been in my refrigerator since I bought them for daycare, and then daycare closed, and they've been in my refrigerator all this time, and they're in the beautiful Tupperware food keepers, and they look like the day I bought them. And so I'd like to make some strawberry shortcake with those sometime this week maybe, and I'd like to also do a smoothie, which I'd like to show you how you can use a combination of already frozen vegetables with not vegetables, excuse me, fruits, and fruits that are in your refrigerator and you're worried about them going bad. Basically smoothies. I had to learn, Sunny taught me to do smoothies years ago, and I had to learn that it's just basically open up your fridge and see what's in there and throw it in, like yogurt and milk, but we'll see when we make them. And another thing I'd like to attempt with you, I call it refrigerator soup. So if you have enough leftovers in your refrigerator, you open up like at the end of a week and you say, what have I got in there? Well, I've got some beef, and I've got some leftover vegetables of any kind, and you've got your soup stock, and then you've got your tomatoes, which are in the freezer. I'll show you how to make a really fun, what I call refrigerator soup, and it never is the same thing twice because it's whatever you have for leftovers in your fridge. So here again is another way to recoup and recapture the things that we thought were either all gone, or we don't want to eat the same thing over and over and over again. And you don't have to, because you've made steak or some sort of roast. You don't have to eat it as a steak or roast after that. You can do something else like a soup, or we found out like the fajita, whatever I called it, the wraps the other day. There's a lot of things we can do. So we'll keep recapturing foods like this so you have to shop less. So happy Easter to everyone. I'm so excited to be with you this long. We've completely filled a full week of everyday taping for some foods. If you're enjoying it, throw me down some comments so I know you're enjoying it. We can keep going. And yeah, it's so good to be with you and be in the kitchen with you each day. Have a good evening.